next presentation is by Steve Morton, who is the Vice President District Manager of Tri-Link 239. And this is all about some new transportation options that are being proposed and considered for our area. And take it away.
Well, thank you for the invitation to be here tonight. My name is Steve Morton. I'm with Parsons Transportation Group, and we are a consultant who is working on the Tri-Link SR 239 study. Our presentation today is a bit of a follow-on from a public house that we had in Mountain House a couple of weeks ago to describe the project. So this is a much shortened version of the presentation that we made 2 weeks ago. I would like to say that in the interest of time, I'm going to go through this fairly quickly, but myself and the rest of the consultant team over here in row 2, with their hands up, and myself will stick around afterwards over by our displays there, and we can answer any questions that you might have. Let's see if this will work for me. So I want to talk to you tonight about a few things: the Tri-Link study background, the impetus for the study, the potential study alignments that we've developed to date, some of the outreach activities that we're doing and will continue to do, the next steps, and then a discussion. And depending on the time that we have, I can take some immediate questions, but like I said, we can discuss over there if people have interest. So a little bit on the Tri-Link study background. Tri-Link is a legislatively designated but unconstructed route. That word is missing there. And it's to look at a multimodal link from State Route 4 near Brentwood to I-205 somewhere west of Tracy. The route has not been adopted by the California Transportation Commission as yet, and Contra Costa County was awarded a $14 million earmark under Safety Lou, which is a federal transportation bill, in 2005. In January of 2012, the study was transferred over to Contra Costa Transportation Authority as the administrative lead for the study. So even though it sounds Contra Costa in nature, it has strong roots in San Joaquin as well. So some of the project partners that we've worked for, you can see that this is not an easy one because 3 counties are involved: Contra Costa, San Joaquin, and Alameda, multiple cities, and then public agencies including CCTA. The equivalent agency to them in San Joaquin County is San Joaquin COG, and you can see a few of the other ones there. So a lot of players involved in this. We've been working closely with all of them to start to develop some ideas for the project. There's also some non-governmental organizations that we've been involved with: California Trucking Association, East Bay Bicycle Coalition, to name a few, the Brentwood Agricultural Land Trust. So a lot of interested non-governmental agencies as well. So real briefly on the Tri-Link study impetus, we actually have an impetus, a detailed project impetus that we've developed, and it's available on the website. I'll give you the website address here in a minute, but primarily there are 5 drivers for the project, no pun intended. Regional connectivity. East Contra Costa County is a bit of a cul-de-sac right now. There's good access from the west via Route 4, but very limited access out to the south and the east. We have data over here that will show planned development and job realization. There's a lot of growth already planned for Tracy, Mountain House, Brentwood, Oakley, Antioch, all of those areas. And this project, we believe, will help realize some of that growth that's already on the books. Goods movement, we see this as a potential area for goods movement, given the nature of the warehousing and those types of facilities in Tracy and Lathrop. This would provide a new goods movement connection into the Bay Area from Los Angeles and the Central Valley. And lastly, but not leastly, our roadway safety and emergency response. So this project will take a lot of traffic off of Vasco Road and off of Byron Highway, and both of those roadways have above average safety problems. And then emergency response, again, back to the issue of a cul-de-sac. This provides both emergency access in and emergency access out. So I want to talk now a little bit about some of the study alignments. And first of all, I want to talk about the corridor considerations that we've looked at, talk about some of the alignments, and then finally, the cost estimates that we've developed so far. So we've started with a blank sheet of paper here, but it quickly fills up with considerations that we've had to look at. You can see generally the geography here, Brentwood in the top left, and Tracy, 11th Street, you can see there in the bottom right. So generally, the study is to connect those two in some way, shape, or form. But we've looked at things like plan development. You can see the planned growth already in Mountain House here. And Tracy, as some of you may know, has a lot of planned growth as well. There's prime farmland in the area. We've mapped that. There's land acquired for conservation. That's the other green over there. That's primarily up in the hills, but there's areas that have been designated for habitat conservation. There are alkali soils in the neighborhood, in the project vicinity. Those are special soils that allow rare plants to grow. Whoops, can I go back? Yes. Vernal pools, there's another environmental consideration that we've looked at. Byron Airport and utility infrastructure, you can see that there are plans for improvements at the Byron Airport, and we've also got a lot of utilities in there, including the California Aqueduct and a lot of overhead power lines. There's wind resources identified. And there's the Delta Protection Zone and waterways. There's the Byron Hot Springs, which is a historical resource. California tiger salamander, red-legged frog, western burrowing owl. So we got a lot. And what we've done is try to take all of those things into consideration when we develop the alignments for the project. So what I'm going to show you is really a series of improvements. You should consider it maybe a program of projects. And you can see the first one there. This may be difficult to see, but we'll have better maps over there. Is that reddish color connection between Vasco Road and Byron Highway. That is called the Airport Connector, and that is one of the projects that we are anticipating, or that we've studied. Secondly is the North Link. This would be an extension of State Route 4 to the south and east with two potential alignments. You can see there, both of these would not ever be constructed, just one or the other. You can see one of them goes, follows the existing Vasco Road to the north of the airport connector, and then the other one goes east of the Byron Hot Springs. Third one is the South Link, and this is effectively improvements to existing Byron Highway. These would be improvements that are consistent with the plans within Mountain House for improvements to Byron Highway, and it would connect from the airport connector south to the city of Tracy. And the city of Tracy has a planned interchange improvement at Lammers Road and I-205. This link would connect to that project. The second to last is the I-580 link. So this would be a connection from, and you can see three lines there, a purple line to the west, a teal line in the middle, and then I guess a reddish colored line that parallels the Byron Highway All three of these alternatives, and again, that's alternatives, all three of them would not be constructed, just one, would connect into the existing interchange at I-205, I-580, which is, if many of you know, is currently a three-legged interchange. This connection would form the fourth leg, the north leg, to that interchange. And then last but not least is a transit link. So the transit link could be an extension of E-BART, which is currently under construction along the Route 4 corridor to Antioch. There are plans to extend E-BART further south to Brentwood, and one of the options that we would look at is extending BART along this corridor further south into Tracy potentially. Now with the transit link, it can be very expensive, and so there could be ways to phase that implementation. It could be, you could go from a full BART scenario to an E-BART, to a bus rapid transit, to an express bus. So there are multiple ways to get the transit into the project.
What is an E-BART?
E-BART is, it's not electrified, so it's not they're individual operating trains. So we've got full BART all the way to Pittsburgh on the Pittsburgh Bay Point line, but the extension out to Antioch is going to be E-BART. So they're called DMUs, diesel multiple units, I believe is the term. But they're self-contained, so there's no electric rail for those. It's a BART Lite. It's a cheaper version. Nothing to do with the internet.
Thank you.
Here are the preliminary cost estimates that we have, and these are quite preliminary. But you can see that that there's a lot of money involved here. The airport connector, about 40 million. The South Link, about 100 million. North Link, in the $80 million range. And then the I-580 link, which was the one that connects into the interchange on the I-205, is the most expensive. And a lot of the cost there is in redoing that interchange to make it a fully functional four-way interchange, four-legged interchange. And then, as I mentioned, transit varies by type depending on how aggressive we are. So now I want to talk a little bit about the outreach activities that we're doing and will continue to do. We've got web and media outreach. Andrew Hill, could you raise your hand, Andrew, is with the Planning Center, and they're a subconsultant to Parsons on the study, and they're leading up all of the outreach. So Andrew is the expert on accessing our website and any materials that you might like to see. But the web address is www.trilink239.org, and we launched that a few months ago, and it's updated regularly. So there's all kinds of things on there. We've had articles in the Contra Costa Times, the Brentwood Press, and the Antioch Herald. Contra Costa TV broadcast our Brentwood public meeting that we had. And you can see some of the other things that we've got going. We've had 3 open house meetings in May. Actually, the one in Mountain House was by far the best attended, so we were very appreciative to get a lot of feedback and conversation from that meeting. It's very helpful for us. And at those public houses, we had our staff man these same charts that you see over here, and feel free to go and look at or you can answer any questions that you have. So you can see the list there of topics. And then we have a virtual workshop online at that same website where you can actually go online, click on a button, and you can hear the presentation that we made at the workshop here two weeks ago. And so it's a much longer presentation. It's about 40 minutes long, 45 minutes long. So please feel free to do that. In the fall, we're intending to do a lot of what we're calling road shows, so council and board presentations to Contra Costa, San Joaquin, Alameda County boards of supervisors. Some of the communities, we're going to go visit them. including Mountain House, we can come back here, Transplan, CCTA, so that's just a few of the places that we're going to be presenting the results of the feasibility study. Which brings up this, so where we are in process, we are working on a draft feasibility study right now. We intend to complete it in the summer and complete the draft in the summer and then get public input and input from these boards and agencies and then finalize it in the fall. And then in early 2014, we're going to start what's called a project study report. And that's a Caltrans process, so we'll initiate a Caltrans process for their formal involvement. So that's all I have. I don't know how we're doing on time, but if we want to defer questions. Okay. I've been evicted.
Yeah, sorry about that, but I want to give everyone an opportunity. I'm sure there's a lot of questions and a lot of things that you want to look at, and you have all of the displays over here, so as soon as we pay homage to the rest of the speakers that were gracious enough to come out this evening, take the opportunity to talk to these folks and get more information.